So we had such a good time with Ari McKay that we've got 10 more minutes of bonus content in this video for you. So check this out.
How do you decide really where to go next outside of things that you might be doing for calls? If you've got 100 bunnies on the list, are you working on bits and pieces all along to see which ones become more fully fleshed out? Or is it really just a matter of, well, we're done with this, time to move to the next thing, let's go to the list?
It kind of depends. Usually it's like whatever voice is screaming the loudest. And that could be for any reason. Like a brand new bunny could, just whack us over the head, and it's like, hey, we've got time to write this now. Let's write it.
Right.
We do have, now I will say nothing is ever wasted, because we do have a bunch of, I won't even call them abandoned. We have a bunch of partial things that we started and it kind of wasn't going where we wanted. And maybe it's like, oh, well, we don't have time to work on this anymore, so let's put it aside. And there have been plenty of things that have eventually come out where, we started working on it and it wasn't quite going where we wanted it to go. And then maybe a call will come out for a story and it's like, oh, well, if we took that and we kind of twiddled it just a little, we can make it go forward from there. Mm-hmm. And, so that, if the voices are loud, but then they won't cooperate eventually, which happens. Because as writers, as you both know, you bring your personal baggage in any time that you're writing. And, if I'm having a time when I'm pissed off at the husband and I'm hating men because, oh my God, husbands are jerks, I will be like, it's like, and you can't, you have to kind of move yourself around that. But sometimes it's kind of harder if you're having a crappy day at work and it's like, you're just, oh boy, we're taking this really dark because it's like, yes, the character wants to stab everybody or something. But yeah, so it depends. And like I said, some things do get, kind of shuffled off to the deal with it later pile, even after we've written, several thousand words. It'll be like, this just isn't going. I'm not feeling it. You're not feeling it, whatever. And we just let it go.
Right. Neither one of us have any problems with recognizing that, this is just not working for whatever reason. Maybe we started strong, but then it kind of fizzled out, or, one of us is not really feeling it anymore, whatever. We'll look at it and say, okay, we need to stop. And we have no problems revising things as much as it needs to be done. We have no problem with just putting things aside because, like Ari said, nothing is ever really wasted. It'll get repurposed at some point. But to go back to the question of, do we just pull stuff? Sometimes, yes. I think we used to do that more a few years ago than we do now. We haven't gone to the list in a while because we've had specific calls that we've been working for, or we've had persistent ideas. And the longer that we do this original writing thing, I think the easier it is for us to just kind of go, oh, hey, this thing happened, or I saw this and it gave me this idea, and we roll with it. So we've got the list as a fallback, and we used to go to it quite often. It's like, okay, well, we finished this. What are we going to write next? Let's go to the list. But I find that we're doing that less and less the last year or two, I think, because ideas have been coming up more organically. And we get inspired by everything, just anything could be like, oh, hey, we could turn that into a story, stuff that happens in real life, stuff we see on TV, stuff that we read, quotes, pictures. Yeah. I mean, inspiration comes from everywhere.
Which I imagine is both good and bad.
Yes.
I sent McKay a picture of Brock O'Hearn. And let me tell you, we got that one.
Yes. He was actually the inspiration for a book that's coming out. Isn't it this fall?
It is August 1st.
Yes, Out of the Ashes. the werewolf lead character, Eli, in my mind, he looks just like Brock O'Hearn. And it was because of that picture that she sent. And I was like, damn! So...
Now, you both balance full-time jobs and real life. How many books do you manage to crank out on average in a year?
Oh, less than we used to.
Well, that's because the last 2 years I've been back in grad school. So I've actually been balancing a full-time job, grad school, and writing.
Oh,
but
goodness.
that's, yeah, I'm graduating. This is my last semester. I just finished up my last semester. So I'm going to have more free time. So our output will probably increase. But yeah, basically we write in the evenings. We have our job, we come home, and then we get on chat and we start in. We don't do it every night because some nights we're just too tired, we're not feeling it or whatever. But most nights of the week, yeah, we're writing.
That's amazing.
Oh, yeah.
And awesome.
And then we have, for our self-pub stuff, we've pretty much decided that it's Dream Spinner and self-publication. And, well, we do have something that we might submit to another publisher that's very, very different from the other stuff we've written. But we got this idea. I'm married to a hoarder. And he's a pack rat and I'm a purge rat. So every time my husband goes out of town, I call 1-800-GOT-JUNK and have these guys come. And they're nice, young, attractive guys. And they come and they make my life better. So this idea came to us about using that kind of format for actually a whole series of stories. And I don't know, what do you think, McKay? Should we say the series title, or is that giving too much away?
I think we can stop there because we haven't really started writing it too much yet. We haven't, but we want to.
Story or a quarter of the first story, something like that.
I'd say about a quarter. This summer we can work on the self-pub hunky young men story.
Yes, lots of very hunky young men.
Mm-hmm.
Anything that the self-pub stuff is easier to get out quickly.
Right.
And so we don't have we can get that written and then turned around and put out on Amazon fairly quickly.
Yeah, especially since you've got an English major in the family who can help edit.
Yes.
Oh, she's phenomenal. So, I'll handle all the action as long as she will handle that editing. Oh God! While she was doing her graduate work, I was having to handle some of the deadlines for the edits coming back from Dream Spinner, and it's like,
oh yeah, I usually handle those, but this spring semester I was working on my creative thesis, and I had very limited time, so I asked, are you okay handling the edits for some of this? And this was not like editing the whole manuscript. It was just Dream Spinner got the edits back to us, and you had to go through and accept, reject, blah blah blah. And I usually handle that. So Ari got thrown into the deep end this semester and had to handle it for at least 2 stories. So I think she has an even greater appreciation for what I do now after this. And she's like, are you graduating again? Can you take over again yet?
That's okay, though, because I handle all the technical stuff for the self-pubs and stuff. So
it balances itself out.
Yeah, we balance each other out. I think we have a pretty good division of labor that is what each of us is comfortable with. So.
For detailed show notes and the complete episode backlist, go to biggayfictionpodcast.com. New episodes are available every Monday on all major podcast distributors and YouTube. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week.